think we were down to working on the tickets. Let me see if I have any of these already set up here. Okay, I do have those set up, so we got that. I actually, there. Alright, let's actually start playing around with the archives. Hello! Let's see what this looks like. Alright, so that is very bare bones. So what we're going to want to do is actually play around with that, see what we can do to spice it up. Okay, so let's go ahead. That's a template. There's the functions. Yep, I am using an online editor. I'm using Code Anywhere. It's actually a pretty cool tool. For about $7 a month, I get my own essentially test server. I can connect to all my projects, and I can actually it's not yeah, it is cloud. It is not computer dependent. So that way, if I'm running around or if I'm at work and I'm on my lunch break, I can actually log in and do stuff like this as well. I'm actually doing pretty good too. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Didn't think I'd actually be promoting this right now. So what this is doing is this is based on a sandbox environment. So right now I have this set up. I can actually go in and create a new one if I really wanted to. They're called containers. And what happens is when you go and you set up a container, you can decide what type of framework you want to use. Like for instance, let's say you want to do another WordPress site. You search the stacks. So then you have all these different things, like you can do send to different types of servers. Let's say I wanted to do something with Drupal. They'll go through and give you the different types of servers you can work with on that. Same thing with like WordPress, Swift. So you can go through and have a couple of different containers going for different projects, and then upload the stuff. And what happens is it goes through. Hold on, my kitty is being a little bit of an annoyance. Let me get him out of the room. Say hello to the crowd. One moment. Sorry about that. If I left him in the room, he would start chewing on the cord for my headset, and that would not be fun. That, and he would also go for the power cord. So yeah, I actually like this because I can go through, build everything out, test it on a test server. They actually give me a temporary web address, which is what I'm using here. And then that way I'm not having to go and pay for hosting if I want to go and build a site while I'm at work, or anywhere else for that matter, on someone else's computer, hanging out, whatnot. So again, really like this type of tool, and $7 a month is not that bad to have this level of being able to build stuff out. So to get back on topic, archiving. So we saw here, this is going through, and we have just a very basic standard layout here, and I really want to customize this not only for the tickets but also for the other custom content types that we have here. So my method, if I've forgotten how to do something, or if I just need a quick refresher, is to just go online. If you're learning how to code yourself, Google will take you over to different things that are out there that can help with that. So this goes through and actually explains things on the WordPress website. a little bit more about how everything works when it comes to your standard archive page. So we'll touch upon that in a moment. And then what we're going to do is track down how do we hook in, like we did with the single pages, how do we hook in the archive page? So I just need to double check if I make sure I remember this correctly. I think it's add filter archive template, but I'm not 100% sure and I don't want to break this right away. But alright, I'm pretty sure it's archive template. So what we are going to do is go back here. Can everyone hear me okay? Really quick on the sound check. Just want to make sure before I start going into further ramblings that you guys can hear me. Whoops. Cart before horse. Alright, we're going to go back over here. And honestly, I just have to go through and we're just going to go and steal the code here. There's no shame in copying and pasting. Alright, so we got archive all those. Next step is we're going to want to go through and actually build these out. Since this is empty, and I might rename these later on if needed. So now that we have everything taken care of, if I go here, this should blank out because it's going and trying to look at an empty file. Not quite yet. All right. Oh, forgot to save. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's try. And that's what it was supposed to do. So what we're going to do here is get this. In theory, I have everything lined up. clicked, so it should work now. Now we debug. All right. Right, where was it? Convention event, convention partner, to archive. Oh. Alright, so it's convention. Let's make sure this is working. We don't need this. Alright, so we got this. We'll just debug it one at a time. We have everything saved. Alright, that ain't working. Okay, so something in here broke. So what we are going to do is I go through and get rid of this. Will this fix it? We'll have to debug it a little bit at a time. Okay. So let's just not have the filter on. Is there anything in the code that is potentially causing it? Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Let's see what happened. Alright, in theory this should not break the site. So now we're going to add the filter back in. You've never heard of Code Anywhere? Yep. I forgot how long ago I found it. I was looking around at different things to use, and this one actually worked out pretty well. So let me see, what is it? Right, add archive templates. Let's see what happened. What is... Got it. So that's what's going on here. Oh. There we go. Just got to remember when you build out, for instance, like just like sentences, you have to have it end them with a period. Here you got to end them with semicolon. So this now has it set up where we now have a it hooking into the template for tickets. So that is a standard for a standard index page on there. So some of the things we can take a look at. Let's go and actually get rid of these other ones since we're not going to use them. And if you want to see what a normal archive page looks like, because one of the tricks you can learn is just looking at the code and seeing how everything else works, and then you can putz around with it on your own. So we're using the 2016 theme. If you look at the archive PHP, it gives you a whole bunch of stuff. So for instance, if you have posts, then it goes through and builds out everything. So actually I would want to use this one as my base anyways. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and paste that out. Now, one of the things we're going to do later on in a future episode is we're going to have some custom verbiage up on this area, because what we want to do is have it where they're introducing the different ticket types. So what I'm going to do here is take care of that. Just get some basic text to there. Okay, so this should have that happen before everything else. Yep, this is what we want to have happen. And then what we're going to do is go back here. I see what they're doing. We don't need that. Actually, that's what I would probably put in. Here, if I was going to design it out. I was using it on and off for a couple of years. Whoops, wrong button. When I first started, I actually spent a lot of time using Drupal. Yep, Drupal was actually the first CMS I started working with. I've done a lot of different sites on there. Some of them no longer around because the Geek clubs that I was working with dissolved. The one club that I really did a lot of work with before moving on is One World by Night, which is a live action role-playing club. If you go to owbn.net, you can see a lot of the stuff that I did. Stopped working with them about 2 years ago to start working with Laravel after that. And Laravel, if you're familiar with Drupal, Drupal's everything but the kitchen sink. They just hand you the kitchen sink and then the entire Home Depot with Laravel. You're starting from scratch, but it gives you a lot of flexibility. So that's so I like this mainly. I like WordPress mainly because I don't have to build out the admin area from scratch. Most people are familiar with the WordPress admin, so I can get this set up and then just say bye, and they can run with it from there. Whereas I'd have to fine tune a control panel if I was using Drupal or something else. And there's a lot of WordPress people out there, so if they need help, they can usually find it. So that's why for a lot of my smaller projects, I've now moved over to WordPress. Bigger ones, I'll still use Drupal, or I will actually custom code it from scratch using Laravel. Let me see what happens if I go ahead and check this. Got it. Now, I'm not a fan of this layout, so let me see how they are getting this taken care of. Let's see. Yeah, that was about 3 or 4 years ago before I learned a lot when it comes to getting that fixed. So my skills have gotten better. I just don't work with them anymore. So unfortunately, they have to find someone else at this point. Yep, I had it where you're supposed to click them one at a time. Yep. Yeah, I used to back in let me see here, 2014, 2015, moved on, got some other cool stuff going on there. They unfortunately haven't found someone else yet. I might go back to working for them if the price is right, meaning that they actually pay me. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, and what I'm gonna do here is ticket equals the post. And since we're doing that, we don't need this part. And actually, we don't need any previous next on this either. Okay, so if we go through all this, this should blanket out and I can start from scratch. Yep. All right, so what we'll then do is and we'll go and just move this over. And in a little bit, we will actually work with the query because we're going to want to have this tweaked a little bit more. Let's see here to get the post, and then we're going to get if you're working with custom post types, one of the easiest ways to build out the fields is using advanced custom fields for WordPress. I actually use it a lot in my projects, and one of the things you can do is once you're done using that, you can actually extract it over into a file that you can automatically import on future projects. So to show you a little bit of how I did that, then if you go over to custom fields, and go over to tickets, this is going to show everything. So we have price, add-on, and attached events. So what we are going to do is get that. And if you're not familiar with how to use a WordPress object like this or post, again, either WordPress.org or Google is how you'd find it. So like WordPress get title or WordPress get content. So this is how you go about doing that. And as you can see, get the title and then get the content is likely going to be the other part. Or the title or the content. Let me see if I remember this correctly. If not, it is going to break gloriously. it was correct. The loop in action. This tells you all the fun stuff about the WordPress loop. The content. The title. There it is. We don't need this part. Post the title. Actually, post. And at least I got it to close out correctly. Post. I'm sorry, I'm just having a little bit of brain fog here, so let me double check this. In theory, it should be this. All right, let's see here. And that was not right. Let me try this again. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, let's go ahead. We're just gonna do it this way. There we go. Okay, this initializes it, so then what we want to do is for custom fields, we're going to want to use this in a little bit. So what we will do then is let's close this out. Okay, let's get rid of that. And that should then give me what I want there. And then what we can do here it's ticket description. All right. so we got that. Be nice if I spelled it correctly. Alright, so we got that. We got the description. Let me take a look here. And then we'll get that in a moment. Just going to get this placeholdered out. And then if you're using advanced custom field, what you can do is they actually have the ability for you to get the field. So what we would then do is first find out what the name of the field was that we put together. There it is. That's going to be price. Actually, for in the while loop, we don't need the variable. And then what we're going to do is get field. And I always save that. Everything is lined up. If we go back to tickets, that's going to give us a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, we may need the price. Let me just double check what we have in tickets. Because I think I had prices on each of them. Yeah, so there should be at least something saying 2, which it doesn't. Alright, so we are going to have to make a variable. Alright, and get field price. Since we're working on this, we have the CSS classes, we can go ahead and get that here. Don't need this anymore. Alright, so if we go back over here, okay, I see I did something wrong. That's what I did. There we go. So that works, and what we're going to do is get rid of this because we don't need that. Realize that because I made a mistake. All right. There we go. So now we can go back in. All right, so we have that all taken care of. Now what we may want to do is here, We're going to go a little bit more advanced. This more learning, going online and looking up stuff can help out. Because what I want to do here is there's two different type of tickets. So the first one is your basic ticket that people can then go and sign up for, and then the other one is what we call the add-on ticket, so an a la carte ticket. So what I want to do is check really quickly at okay, so we're going to actually do two parts to this. And what we are going to do is go ahead here. Modify the query. For custom, actually for custom type. You get to see a little bit of my logic that I do when I get stumped. That's not fun. There. If anything, I may end up I'm going to cheat and look at what I previously did because I'm actually recreating this from scratch. But I'm going to go back to the project I worked on where I did this and just copy over what I previously did. I thought I'd remember it. Okay, so we are going to go here. That's the advanced custom field query, which you'll find about later. I may have actually embedded it in. Oh, let's try this. Okay, let's see if I actually. Let's try this. No, those are templates. Nope, that was not what I did. I'm pretty sure I put the queries in here because it was a little more complex. Yeah, I did. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm just going to take what I did before. This is actually why you build out your stuff, a base template beforehand, before customizing everything. Let's see here. Back over to convention types. Archive and ticket. And the reason why we end up having to go this route is, again, because we have two different ticket types and we want to run through both of them. So it was, I think I called this convention ticket. Yep. Convention ticket. And then I had named it, what did I name this thing? It was badge or add-on. There we go. That was what we were looking for. So this is going through creating this as either a badge or add-on. True. Then tickets by type 1, 2, 3. So we went through. We're going to close out on this one because we did not have a, actually let's add a sold out. Alright, we actually don't need that. We're going to go back here. So ticket link price, convention ticket, array prop. And I called it price. And it's a little convoluted, but it gets the job done. So convention ticket, convention ticket, convention ticket. Keep this. And then what we are actually going to do is just do 2. So we go, what this is doing was the previous project I had 3 different ticket categories. One was your standard badges, another one was a la carte, and then the third one was coming soon, meaning they did not have the information ready for it yet. So that's why this is a little bit more detailed than what I was planning. So we got tickets, it throws everything into these arrays. Everything should be set up here. And then ticket options, they're going through and setting up those keys. Okay, so we got that. Get post comes some values. Oh, I see what it's doing. That's not the post type. That was this category. So all we are going to do is fix this. And then we only really need 2 because it's either you just have the add-on or you have the regular. So what we are going to do here, just so you can see what's going on. That's going to be there, and then you're going to have our that should give us at least an idea if things are working or if I broke something in trying to translate it over. It's not letting me use it. Okay, so something's going on where it's not even registering, so we're just going to go and wing it. So rather than have the while here, what we are going to do is get rid of this. See if this will let me debug it here. It broke. So something's going on where the whole thing is breaking. And this is all silly anyways. Let me go ahead and just move this off into its own thing. Okay, what we will then do is okay, so we have that. This means that I can at least debug this while we're going. If I go through and restart, will this break anything? So something is broken. Let me see what happens if I just comment this out. Alright, so I broke something here. Let's see if I go through and just undo this until I delete everything. Is this going to fix it? Alright, so we at least fixed what I broke. Let's go ahead here. I doubt this is going to break anything. But what we are going to do is find the while and get rid of that. Alright, so we got that part fixed. So we'll go back here and uncomment out this. Now we can debug what I did before. Now let's see, is this going to break anything just doing this? Nope. So we'll try this. I don't need this part anymore, and I don't need that either. Okay, so something's gone on. Let's just see if it's going to call anything here, since it's using this. Oh, there we go. All right, so this is showing all the details that we actually need. Question is how in-depth do we want to get with this? Because I can go through and put both sets of data there. Let's see here. So what I'll do is return. Actually, thinking design-wise, I want to leave this open for later on for someone to customize. So I'm just going to hold off on doing anything there and just return tickets by type. Because design-wise, we want to have it where later on we can have a control panel where someone can say, all right, well, this for this category, we want to actually label it this and have this as the subheading. So that's probably going to be a better fit. So I'll go back, make sure that this works. So what we would want to do is badge, and then the other one is add-on. So that's what's going on here. All right, so what we would then do here, we don't even need the if have posts at this point. Since this is so we're going to end if here and get rid of the else. Div class, all right. Tickets first. Okay, let's take a look here. I accidentally deleted it, so we'll get that re-added. All right. Then what we would want to do here, actually format my stuff like this, and then how would I want to do this? Actually, what I would probably do is let's see here, Fibma. Okay, and then okay, so we'll do this. Class equals. Hello, everyone. Looks like I'm very popular tonight. I just realized I have 7, 8 people that are watching me right now. So if you do have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so what we're going to do here on both of these is we are going to set up the loop. Hello. All right, so what we're going to do here. Okay, hello. All right, so what we are going to do, let me see what let me find my, how did I style this? Price ticket, event special alert, responsive. Okay. So this is ticket category. Yeah. Well, this is just a test right now, just to give an example. When I go through another module where I'm going to actually go into theming, then I might use Bootstrap. But right now, it's just going through doing pure output, showing how to get this done. So something kind of on the quick and dirty side. Okay, so we have that. What did I name this thing? Price and ticket description. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fix that indentation. All right, so we got that. And then trying to think of how I did this on another page. Okay, so we got that. But this was within while loop, which is what we're not using. This was also within a while loop. I think it was, no, that's an archive page. Partner. Yeah, all of these were while loops. We can wing it. So we'll go back here and is that why online? Because then I can use this at work during my lunch break. Yes, I am that addicted to coding. All right, so let's take a look here. All right, that was it. Oh, I see what I forgot to do. The other benefit on this is with this tool, what you can actually do is these are containers where you can build out your own test area. So you don't have to go and get hosting, or you don't have to try and run a test server on your computer. It is all self-contained here, and then you can hook into things like GitHub or Bitbucket in order to save your code and then deploy it. So that's the other reason why I like it. Let me try and remember here. Badge. I think it's this, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple months since I ran this project. Let's take a look here. If I remember correctly, this is it. If not, it's going to blow up beautifully, and then we can figure it out. Yep. That was wrong. What do you mean by noisy? Ah, there it is. Ah. Yeah, I have a friend who's telling me I really need to learn Node.js, so that's next on my list. Oh, yeah. That's a bit of much. Okay. If I remember correctly, this should work now, because if that is, it retrieves the post title, returns a string, it doesn't actually print it out. So we'll go ahead and save this. There we go. All right, so we got that. We can deal with formatting later. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So we have everything here, and what we'll just do is go ahead and instead of add-on a badge, we'll just call it add-on. Okay, so we should now have the basics, so ticket header. And then as you can see here, badges. Okay, something's going on. It is just running that twice. Oh, okay. Alright, what we are going to do is see why it is doing this. And just so I can tell what's going on here. Oh, that's why. That way we can help figure out what is happening. Okay, so what did I call this? It's okay. I prefer WordPress for situations where it's a quicker project, where I can just hand it off to someone and then walk away, and it'll be minimum updates from that point onward. Main reason I like it is because I can hand this off to someone with a very quick instruction guide and they're going to know what to do. Whereas if I was to use a different environment, I'd either have to build out my own control panel for the administrators or pay someone else to do that. So I'm not a fan on that part, which is why I like going through this route instead. All right, so add-on ticket. I see what's going on here. Is what's happening is it's going through with a different product because the title is not working. What did I even name these? Basic ticket and add-on ticket. It's called Hello World, so I know something is wrong here. All right. Why don't I just use something else? Let's try this. Let's see if advanced custom field comes to the rescue on this one. Nope. I'm gonna have to find out what I blanked out on. Okay. It allows for HTML. Get title by ID. Get WordPress, get custom post title. forgot that part. Why is that not working? Oh, this is... You know what? I'm just going to go this route. Because what this is doing, what I think it's doing, badge is an array. And I should be able to get that. There we go. Sometimes you have to be smarter than the machine. And smarter than the programming code. So we'll get rid of that. Oh yeah, the reason why is I forgot I made this all into arrays. Silly me. Okay. So we'll go ahead and add on. In which case I shouldn't need everything else here that I just threw in, because it's all in. Okay. Is it description or details? What did I call it? Details. All right. So what happens when you take a couple months off from coding a project, or you walk away from it, you forget everything you've done? All right, we actually don't need that. Price is, yep. All right, we should have everything set up here. And we can get rid of the debugging. Now what I will do is, now this is where we start using design stuff. So what I'm going to do here, actually going to save this down here too. All right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so we got everything set up here. And I'll clean up the formatting on this later. So within ticket item details, we have everything here. And then we got that here. All right, so we got that. What we will do is get this here. Just so you have an idea of what this is going to do. So ticket item details is going to be a float left and float right. So I remember which one's which. This is where we would do things like padding or font color or font size is here. But what we're going to do is once we get to a certain point, we're going to start changing widths, and we're also going to start dealing with styling. This is where it's going to come into more relevancy. Let's see here. Let me just get rid of all those widgets on the side. That's starting to get real annoying. Alright, so this should go back to there we go, we got that ticket header and badges here, a la carte here, and as you can see they have the little purchase thing. So what we're going to do is, what did I call that purchase class? Button sale. We're just going to do something for button. Actually, let's make this a little bit bolder. Alright, so we have that, and then if we're doing this, what I would probably do is and then now, assuming there's no surprises, this should now give me a better layout. Oh, that color on that link is bad. Alright, let's try this. There. That blue does not work. It's almost burning my eyes. still doing that when I hover over. Oops, what did I do? There. Okay. This is a bit better. What I might actually do now, what we have here, again, it's just showing purchase. Now, let's say we wanted to have it where this, if it was sold out, then something else would happen. So what we can now do here is go here and all right, so what we will now do and let me see how I set this up. And this was a true false. So what I'm going to do is if add-on sold out, and then else. We'll just have this set up here. Later on, we'll add in a way to be able to change things out. And then we'll do this. All right. All right, so before I go too far, what I'm going to do is copy this over. On this side. And then what we will do here what that's going to do is if it's disabled comes up as true, then it's also going to add in disabled. I'm not familiar with twig. What is twig? Okay. No, I'm not familiar with that. Alright, so we have this part set up. And what we're going to do is add in this link here. Cool. Alright, so what this is going to do is whether or not the badge is sold out is going to determine all the other things for the link. So it's not calling upon badge in here anymore. So I can actually take this and copy and paste that into here. Noted, I might read that on the bus ride to work tomorrow. Let's take a look here. So what I'm going to do first is, did I break this? I did not break this. And it should show Google because it's showing as true. So now what we are going to do here is go to tickets. And what I'm going to do is edit one of them so it is sold out. So we have this. We're going to update. Now what I'm going to do here is under theming is if it's disabled, what we are going to do is change the background color. And we'll just save that and refresh. So it didn't quite work out. It does say it's sold out. So let's see why it is not working. All right, so something is going on here where the disabled's not firing. So what you're going to do here, and this was done on the basic ticket. So what we're going to do here under the badges is fire dump this. So that should give me an idea of what happened. And it's not showing, so something's up. Alright, so we're not going to use that as a way of debugging it. What we will do is if it disabled is true. Oh, that's why. So we got that here. Can get rid of that. Hopefully we can wrap this up and then I'm calling it a night because it's been about an hour and a half. Oh. All right. Aha! There we go. So we have everything here. We have not done a whole lot when it comes to theming this thing out. That's going to be when we decide we actually want to start building out a template. We're just using 2016 here. though I am curious to see what exactly is causing this to indent so much. Something on this is causing, it's a whole bunch of stuff. All right, I see what's happening, so we'll deal with that later. So we got this all set up. So over the past hour and a half of us putzing around, what we did was we just took a standard archive, which went through and had everything listed. We're breaking it out to where we have the different badge categories listed. We have things for the category headers, and then we have the ticket types, and then we have it where you can now have buttons that either say whether or not it's sold out. So thank you all for tuning in and bearing with me on this. I am looking at my schedule to see when I can stream that, because it will be announced on my site. If you are not familiar with what I'm doing, I'm going through as Geek Girl Coding, building out these videos. This one on just the WordPress event, I'm doing for free. Gonna have everything publicly available once I wrap up. Future ones will have it where those who support me will be able to get a sneak peek at the stuff that I am doing before it gets released to the public, and there's a whole bunch of other perks. So check out my Patreon site, Geek Girl Coding. Talks a bit more about my project, what I want to do, how you can support me. Otherwise, always feel free to follow me here, like me, everything else under the sun. Always looking for feedback or ideas on stuff that I can do next. And with that, think that we are done for tonight. I'll go look at my schedule, put up my next streaming time, and then look forward to talking with everyone later.